And hello, YouTube. It is day 97 of 365 days of lives on Instagram, and I'm doing a dual recording for my YouTube channel, Sarah Divinely You. So you can always check me out over there on from Instagram and vice versa and all that. The reason that I'm doing this is because it was 4 years ago today that I landed in the Bay Area, Emeryville, California. I took the train across the country and relocated, started my nomadic journey. And I actually was feeling really called to talk about like how I sort of like transcended or transmuted my depression. And in the process of thinking about that, I was listening to my podcast episode on Hearts Unleashed podcast, which called Breaking Up with Your Victimhood. And then in the episode, I mentioned taking the train to California, and I was like, oh, today's that day that I moved to California. And so, but I think it's all the same thing, right? Because so I had wanted to move to California for like 10 years before I actually did it. And it's all about breaking up with your victimhood, right? Because I had every reason in the world why I couldn't move to California, right? I couldn't be a nomad because I couldn't drive. I couldn't be a nomad because I didn't have a partner who drove, and all of these things. And then I got wind of the California Zephyr Amtrak train, and I minimized and downsized like so much of my stuff. I took a suitcase, a duffel bag, and a backpack and traveled across the country on the train. And I lasted out there for 10 months, and then I did come back to the Midwest before I went to Arizona in 2020. However, like it's amazing to me that I chose that path, that I chose it, that I had, felt like empowered enough to do it. And I was thinking about like how did I transform, transcend, and transmute, having, being depressed or having depression. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it. I chose it. I literally chose it. And I know we have so much changing so rapidly right now with this new Pluto Aquarius energy, with the, all of the transits that are coming along with it. And everything is just crazy and up in the air and all of that. And after this morning, when I had a pretty powerful, energetic psychic experience with a friend, I was just like, yeah, but there are good things happening. There are really good things happening. Um, and so, hold on. I have to interrupt this program because I have a low battery on my laptop. um, but I think it's really kind of important to find the right cord to plug into the laptop that's tangled in a mess of cords. So technical fun, right? Um, but I think it's something that I took control of the things that I could control, and I released the rest, right? And we're in a place right now where a lot of things feel very out of our control, and we don't like not being in control, but you control the things you can control. You can control yourself. You can control your frequency. You can control your process of emotions. You can control your happiness in life. There are always going to be things that make us unhappy or that upset our cherry wagon, or whatever. There are always going to be those things, but we constantly have to choose. And as I was listening to the podcast episode, I heard myself say, like, it's baby steps, right? It's choosing to get out of bed, it's choosing to take action on something. And other days it's like effortless, like, right, I am having a good day, everything's going great. There are other days when it's not so great, and I am literally choosing to get up, brush my teeth, put clothes on, and do, cook food or whatever, right? And those aren't so significant anymore, but they do still occur for me. And so I think when we're talking about like how I, now manage my depression or manage the depressive symptoms, is that number one, I do look at them as symptoms. I always look at them as symptoms. Like, what's upsetting me? What's getting to me? And I, speak about journaling in so many videos and so much content. And I go journal, like something's in my emotional body that I can't feel or I can't understand or make sense of. And I go journal, and I honestly, it almost always comes out of me, and all of that. I've also had plenty of support along the way. I've been in the life coach arena for a long time, and then picked up, spiritual and energetic work, and picked up astrology along the way. And all of these factors have made it, to where I can understand, like right now, the moon's in Scorpio. That's honestly a hot one for me. That is one that I pay close attention to when the moon is in Scorpio, and what phase of the moon is in Scorpio, or any other water sign, Cancer or Pisces even. And I pay very close attention to other transits that are happening that could create a trigger point or a conflict point for me. And then, what's going on in my life and what's going on around me and all of these things. And so there are many factors at play, right? The other thing I want to say is I also talk a lot about self-compassion, and I talk about having an inner dialogue between my inner child, my current self, and my higher self. And I do mean that is what I do. I absolutely lay in my bed and bring them all in. I bring my higher self in. I bring my inner child in. Like, what does my inner child need to say? What is she upset about? We all have kind of an inner child wound that needs to have a voice and needs to say something, and has a feeling or an insecurity. And mine's very insecure, believe me. And then I bring in my higher self, because my higher self knows more than me about what's going on, right? And where we're going, and what's this life doing. And so I bring in those dialogues and have that inner dialogue. It's just a mental conversation that happens in my head. And so and then I have the self-compassion to be like, it's okay, you're okay. It's all good, it's all going to be okay. Even if something is mighty stressful, even if something is really upsetting me, I have that inner dialogue to, be able to work through what's coming up, how I'm processing it. If I feel the need to cry, I cry. If I feel the need to dance or move or whatever, I do all of those things. And so when I talk about these practices, and no matter what context I'm talking about it, it's because those are the things that I take on, that I do. And so, and sometimes I have to say, okay, I hear you, to my inner child. We'll talk about it in a minute. And I go do, the work that I need to do, or whatever. I also do a lot of these inner dialogue conversations while I'm doing house chores. So, because I find house chores to be very grounding, because I have to, if you're folding laundry, you have to, there's something methodic about it that helps me kind of ground and, stay connected, and all of those things. And so, yeah, so it's a really celebratory day for me. I was also thinking, like, I should have looked. I don't know how long it's been since I have been sober. I know it was July 31st because I know the transit it was. I think it was July 31st. So I think it's been about 8 months now that I have been so, and it feels like forever ago. I don't even think about drinking. I don't think about it at all. And I love where my life has gone since I quit drinking. And that doesn't mean that I will always be sober, but for now it is working for me, and it is in service of where I'm going with all of the work that I do. And so there's all of that. But as far as breaking up with your victimhood and cycles on repeat, and now we're in this like brand new energy that's wild and beyond our imaginations. It's really digging into your power center, your solar plexus, your belly, your breath, all of those things, and choosing in the biggest way possible, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what, insecurities you have. Guys, I do these videos, and I do videos on YouTube, and I go back and look at something else, and I'll be like, did I screw that up? Oh crap, I completely had that wrong. It happens for me all the time. And I forgive myself, I let it go. I'm like, well, I had the energy right. Right. So it's really, this is an opportunity. We have some big transits coming up next week, and we're being kind of catapulted into a whole new like energy, right? We're going to have so many beautiful things happen in the next couple of months. We're 2 weeks in to Pluto and Aquarius. We've never experienced that. Our grandparents did not experience that, right? That transit occurred 240 or 50 years ago. So we don't know this energy. We don't know this experience, but we get to live it in this time and space. And I think there's something very exciting about that, and very authentic and very freeing about that. But the freedom that you experience is when you make the choice to experience it, right? We're all just here to be here and to enjoy it and appreciate it and laugh and, just be. So anyway, I just wanted to celebrate and send it to Instagram, send it to YouTube. I really just wanted to celebrate this day. I think it's also interesting that this is day 97. I graduated high school in 97. I was born in 79, so I feel very attached to 9s and 7s apparently. And April 7th, historically for me, if I look at my history, it's been a historic day for me, like a pivotal day for me. It was the day in 2012 that I was baptized and confirmed into the Catholic Church. Yep, I was Catholic for about 5 years. I was Catholic. But that was an important part of my spiritual journey. I will say that being a part of the Catholic Church was needed for my spiritual journey. And so because I did, get a lot out of it. So historically, April 7th is a big day, fated day for me, apparently. And so here we are, April 7th, 2023. And I'm celebrating 4 years of being a nomad, even though I'm back home in my hometown. It still feels like I'm a nomad. It still feels like I am ready to jump on the road and do it all again. I'm just calling in that man that wants to be a part of that journey. I do it again with myself, for myself in a minute, but I'm definitely, calling in a partner who wants to have that fun with me. So I hope you found this to be helpful. This is literally how I transcended my depression symptoms. Is I still have them. They still occur. They still exist. I choose to manage them. I choose to experience joy in my life. I choose to be happy. I choose to continue this journey every damn day. I have so much fun, even when life throws me lemons and tomatoes and what's a fruit that I really don't like? Coconuts, pineapples. I don't like any of those. So, well, but even if life throws me all of the things I don't like, then I still choose to process, to be with all of the negative things that the low vibe emotions. I choose to have those and experience those, and I then choose to have it go a different way. So I hope you found this to be helpful. I'm sending you a lot of love. Please embrace what we are experiencing right now. Have your emotions release. This was a big full moon of release. And so, please take advantage of that and have your emotions and experience your emotions. I have definitely had mine this week, where I have just been full, like, fury angry. I can tell you was one of my big ones this week. But know that when you experience those emotions, there is joy, happiness, and all of the greatness on the other side of releasing the low vibe and getting into that high frequency and that high vibe. So thanks for celebrating with me. I really appreciate you on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube, and then I will end it on Instagram. So thank you, YouTube, and I'll talk to you on the next video.